Hi, my name's Kazi and welcome to my channel. I spent the last few days, if not like an entire week, looking for an absolute surplus of resource packs because I have literally nothing better to do. I'm just going to quickly say some of the resource packs, when you go to enable them, they will say they are made for an older version. If you download the 1.17 link on the resource pack page, it will work still, so don't worry. And of course, all the resource packs and the shades I use are all going to be in the description with the timestamps or the chapters or whatever YouTube calls it, I don't know. Anyways, let's get started. First of all, a giant improvement to your game. Fresh animations. It pretty much redesigns the animations of every mob. I think it's every mob. Maybe. Probably, I don't know. Making them look more smoother and lifelike. Dramatic skies. It makes your Minecraft sky look like the actual sky does. You could actually achieve the same effect if you just went outside for once and looked at the sky. One of my favorite packs, polystash. It changes the texture of the fences. It adds 3D textures to a bunch of the blocks, like the doors, the crafting tables, the carved pumpkins, the ladders, the oars, a whole bunch of them. It also adds bushy leaves. It adds connected textures or block edge overlay for most natural blocks. Visible ores makes the ores super glowy and adds a border so you can spot them super easy. This pack is also available to get without the border if you prefer that. GUI retextured. It's another one that I have mentioned previously. It makes your GUI look a little nicer and brighter, but now you can actually get it in dark mode. This one's kind of silly. MS Paint. The whole pack has been drawn in MS Paint, and it kind of hurts my eyes looking at it. But trust me, it is definitely the most amazing, game-enhancing, aesthetic, practical pack that anyone could ever ask for. Enchanted swords. This pack changes the texture of the swords depending on the enchantment you have on them. They look pretty cool, and it helps identify between enchanted swords and stuff. But it mainly just looks really cool. Rainbow XP bar. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want a rainbow XP bar in this time of RGB overload? I personally really like this one. Creatures Plus adds a variation of different textures to almost every mob, excluding ghast and I think skeletons. I think a couple of them, but for most of them, yeah. Transparent GUI and HUD. I cannot speak. This makes the GUI transparent. Yeah. Invisible item frames makes the item frames invisible. Crops 3D makes the crops, you guessed it, 3D. Nautilus 3D redesigns some of the blocks to give them a 3D model, like the hay bales, the barrels, the bee's nest. And on top of that, it actually changes the bookshelves and the ores to have various randomly generated textures. Another pack that gives your world 3D models is ultimacraft. I probably said that wrong. It gives it adds 3D models, it has block overlays, it changes the actual interface when using utility blocks. And it even has textures that are biome dependent. Remember the thing that I said about living in a time of RGB overload? Well, I offer you animated RGB GUI. It changes your GUI to be transparent with an animated RGB border. This one is made by the same person who made the enchanted swords, enchanted armour. This does the same thing but with the armour, giving them textures depending on the enchantments they have. Brewing canvas changes the corbett. Today I've realized how many things I don't know how to pronounce. I'm assuming corbett, I don't know. The corbett painting to a potion graph. Is this technically a graph? Anyways, but it shows you all the brewing recipes. It's actually very useful. Faithful PBR 512 by. Changes the regular 16 by 16 pixels for every block to a 512 by 512 pixel texture. And I will say, the way this pack looks can vary a lot depending on the shaders you use, if you use shaders at all. With the shaders that I use, it makes it look a lot more like it has depth and stuff. Looks way better. Again, if you really want to use it, description. It also makes the ores reflective, which I tested on another shaders and it did not make them reflective. So it does depend also on the shaders that you have. Ore variations. Add variations to the ore textures. The special thing about this pack is that it actually works with a handful of mods, such as Better Nether, Cinderscape, Universal Ores, and a few more. You can check it out on the page. This one may be a little much for some people, or a lot of people, but birch to cherry blossom. It makes a birchwood pink. It's like an uber uwu change to a game, but I know people will either really hate this or they'll really love this. A tiny change for a pack called Spring Flowers. It adds a handful of texture variations to all the flowers. It's a very small change, but it's a very small cute change. Yes. Old ores for the cave update. I know a lot of people miss the old ore textures. Thanks to resource packs, if you miss them that much, you can get them back. Better leaf bush. It gives the leaves a slightly bushier 3D look without making them super messy, if that's what you're into. Connective texture overhaul. Gives a lot of the blocks connective texture like ores, polished granite and andesite, gold and diamond and ore blocks and such. I don't know if this is a practical or an aesthetic pack, but I guess it can work for either. Tiny tools. It makes your tools tiny. Again, I don't know if this is like a cutesy thing or if this is meant to be like helpful in game since it doesn't cover as much as a screen. Mushrooms plus. Changes the texture of the mushrooms, giving them a variety of 3D models you can randomly find. And listen, there is a rare little mushroom man that you can like apparently find. I couldn't find him. His name's Shroomy. He looks like the cutest little mushroom texture you could ever find. And if anyone finds him, you have to tell me. You have to show me. I could not find it. Apparently it's really rare. Detail brush. It changes up some of the sprites to make them look more detailed and up to date with new items in the game. Scented lanterns. Gives the lanterns a new design when being held in the player. It looks like you're actually holding a lantern like a normal person would instead of like holding it in your hands. Who the fuck does that? Better vanilla ores. It simply makes the ores 3D and like nothing else. Just that. It's very specific, very simple, and very well done. Brunozamps vanilla expansion. Changes the texture of some mobs. It even has like bind dependent ones. Textures. Changes the textures of enchantment books, armors, tools. You can also get horizontal planks if you put like two slabs together. Now, my favorite enchantment book texture pack though is xalis. I think it's xalis. I don't know. Enchantment books. It changes the books to be like very distinguishable by the enchantments. Same deal with like the ones with the armor and the swords and anyways, yeah. Now, if you like the idea of being able to tell the difference between like the enchantment books depending on the enchantments, but you want something a little like less flashy and more classic and has more of a vanilla look and feel, veg enchantment books gives a simple variation to the books without going over the top. Now this one hurts my eyes even more than the MS Painted texture pack, Inception. It essentially changes the texture of every block, making every regular pixel in an actual Minecraft block like an actual Minecraft block. I feel like I'm not explaining this properly. It's like the block, every like pixel has been changed to an actual block. It really makes my brain hurt. Nox ropes. Changes the chain texture to a rope. Simple, but I really like it. Pumpkins plus. Changes the texture of a carved pumpkin depending on what you name it. Like in an anvil. It also removes like blur thingy, vision obstruction when you wear a carved pumpkin. The dragon egg is only ever used as a decorative trophy item. Living dragon is a resource pack that makes the egg like pulsate with glowiness. Makes it look like it's actually alive and way better to look at. More windows. Gives doors and trapdoors like windows. Still haven't found a GUI pack that you like? Well, maybe this one. Enhanced GUI. It just makes the GUI look a lot cleaner. It's not really a big change or anything. It just looks kind of neat. Up to scratch. Make some of the Minecraft sprites, and I quote, up to scratch. I don't know why, but making diamonds make them like rainbow. Makes them just look more special. But yeah, rainbow diamonds does what it says. It makes a Diamantes rainbow. A resource pack I think everyone needs is Cloud's unobtrusive shield. Makes a shield like take a bless of your screen. No, it's not unobtrusive. I said this last time. It's unobtrusive. I'm stupid, I know. Dripstone 3D makes a dripstone in the new update 3D. Just reimagined. Changes the texture of the chest. It just makes them look less, I don't know, like, you know that color of like an overprocessed like burger bun? That's what the color is, and it does not fit into, it does not fit with like anything else in the game. Better bows. When you get ready to like shoot a bow, when you like do that, you know, the pull thingy, you can actually see the arrow. This works too if like, you watch someone else do it. I don't like the look of acacia wood. And I know that majority of people, if not everyone, also doesn't like the look of acacia wood. So if you really hate it that much, almost as much as I do, but not quite enough, you can get grey acacia. Funky glasses. Changes the texture of the helmets to funky glasses. Woo! I don't know, they're kind of cute. Unless you have a skin where it doesn't fit on your face. Then it just looks kind of stupid. New chest. Also changes the texture of the chest, but this one makes it look like you've actually made it out of the wood, like the wooden planks. You know, who would have thought to make the chest they used to make wood, to make the chest look like they're actually made out of the wood that you used? Who would have thought? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you listened to every single one of them. I apologize if you're kind of sitting there like, wow, I hate all of these. Sorry, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. This has taken me like, I think it'll be like a couple weeks, and I'm not even finished making it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you found something that you liked. Or maybe you just were thoroughly entertained by my amazingness. I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and goodbye.